Now all I touch, I am a master here.
So obviously you brought the beats and stuff, started on your mixing side of things and everything like that, and then it became time to rehearse our tunes. And then as everyone was fiddling about, wondering what they were going to do at the time, you became guitarist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'd already been kind of playing guitar. I was already all right at it. But
Yeah.
this kind of made me like completely step out of my comfort zone and just go, you know, this is what you're doing now. You're gonna have to get good. Especially since it all became my responsibility. I then became the one guitarist of the band. Especially since Ryan's like incredible at guitar, and it's like I've got
always judging from the wings.
I've got to try and be better than that. You know what I mean? But at the same time, Ryan's an incredible bassist, and yeah, it's like, you know, it's difficult, isn't it?
You fit in, mate. Like obviously, like we're all growing together in these roles. We're all kind of slightly out of our comfort zone with everything that we're doing in this band. But guitar-wise, we've got to watch you grow. We've got to watch you find your sound and stuff. I love it because you're so technical with it. You're so into what you're doing that you will rip it apart, put it back together, rip it apart again, put it back together. And it's sometimes it's annoying, especially when your balls drop. Yeah. But no, man, it's just like you have progressed, and the sounds that you bring from your guitar, especially live, man.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously we've spoke about how pumping the bass and the drums are and stuff like that now, but because we do use samples live, this backbone that we're building, this kind of, it's a bit of a monster, really.
Yeah.
And that's down to you as well, mate. So it's like, what are you guitar wise? Who are you like big influences and stuff like that?
Well, for me, like coming into this band, it was like, how can I look at guitar playing like more unconventionally, or like my guitar sounds, how can I make them not sound like, you know, everything that's come before? Like, what can I do to make it unique? So to try and make the guitar not sound like a guitar is a start. But like people like Tom Morello, like Rage Against the Machine, you know, he's like, some of the stuff he does is just like, you know, it sounds like an elephant and it's a guitar. It's like, what are you doing? And he's just, you know, he was doing this before technology was really available to like really go in depth with it. Like nowadays, this like the things you can do and automate to just make crazy sounds and run it through your computer if you want to, all these different effects. And he was doing it way before any of that was like kind of possible.
Yeah, so, you can't see that. You can't see that anyway. You take a lot of influence from him in a good way.
Yeah. So it's definitely not a copy of that, because I couldn't even begin to like be that good at guitar. But yeah, just kind of looking at it from that, you know, make the guitar sound like a synthesizer or something like that, and just like run it through a load of mad effects, and you know, just kind of do my own spin on that kind of thing.
You're progressing the instrument. That's what all the great guitarists did as well.
Mm-hmm.
They look to do something different with it.
Yeah.
And I've seen some stuff you do, and it's like, that's really clever.
Mm.
And the amp as well, the amp and guitar setup and the combo stuff like that. Like it's quite a unique choice of amp.
Mm-hmm.
But it really lends itself to it has quite a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, it's like it's the Roland Jazz Chorus, and it's just like, it's a really good pedal platform, and it's just, you know, it's a solid state amp, it's not a valve amp, and you know, people turn their nose up at that, but I was just like, you know, I just want it to be as flat as possible, so whatever I do with my pedals and stuff like that is just going to translate really well, you know, rather than like colouring the sound and that kind of stuff.
What pedals have you got, Tom? What pedals do you use?
Well, originally I've got it here.
Come on then.
Because when we went into isolation, I was like, well, I need to take that home with me. So it's obviously this, you know, the Pog, because it just makes your guitar not sound like a guitar, and it's just like an octaver, but it's great. We've used it on all of our stuff. Like literally, I got introduced to it by Matt. You know, I knew about it before, but I'd never had the money to buy one. And Matt kind of showed me that, and I was like, right, I need to get one of these. So after the first time we went into the studio, the first thing I got straight away was like a Pog. I was like, I'm going to need that because it's just incredible.
It's worked, man. It has worked.
Yeah,
I like
it sounds great. Because we use that on, it's like the main sound on Gross Domestic Happiness, where it goes like do 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 do. So that, and Why Me, All Over Why Me Why, Love As You Want It in the chorus. Just pretty much everything that we've done is that. So yeah, it's great. I love it.
It's on the new single as well.
It's on the new single.
Yeah.
And everything else.
You get some really nice. I think it is. I think it's on every track. You can you can create some really nice orchestral sounds, layering it all up.
Absolutely.
What's the next piece of equipment you're going to buy?
What's the next piece of equipment I'm going to buy? Well, hopefully nothing now, because I recently got I kind of ditched a lot of my pedals apart from the Pog, and just decided I was just going to go with like multi-effects, just because of the ease of use. The Line 6 HX Stomp, it's just streamlined everything for us. Instead of having to tap dance and turn loads of different things off, you can just focus on your playing. A bit like what you were saying, Sid, like when you're not playing guitar, you're able to focus on your singing.
Exactly,
with
mate.
Bands, and with that, it's a lot of the times you can be thinking about like what you're doing with the pedals, and rather than actually just focusing on you playing and playing to the best of your ability.
That fucking terrified me as a guitarist, mate.
Yeah,
I was the worst. My feet, my hands didn't move like I wanted them to anyway, but my feet, never mind them. It's fucking disaster.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when you were wearing Cuban heels.
those are the days, man. Those are the days.
Yeah, I was just getting sick of like turning pedals on by accident, and all of a sudden there's like these mad sounds going on, and it's just like, what? I'm just forgetting you've left something on, and it's just like, there's like a funny video of James Hetfield, and he's meant to be playing some like dead heavy guitar, and it's like just no effects on at all, and it's like I don't want that to happen live, so I'd rather just do it like this with all the multi effects and stuff like that.
When you first brought that in, I was skeptical of how good technology is. Yeah. And then I started playing it, and I was like, I don't think I've heard anything sound as good as this. And it really can just emulate anything, any pedal. Yeah. Like, I would really challenge anybody to get a Valve amp with X amount of pedals and a guitar, and then say that it doesn't sound as good.
Especially live. Sense. Like in the studio, I would refrain from using it really personally, just because if you've got the opportunity to use amps and all that kind of stuff, then I would. Multiple amps, all in a line, at least 6. All of them on, yeah, exactly. But like live, it's like there's so many variables where it's just like you might as well just be doing it that way, because no one's going to notice. And if someone can notice, then fair enough to them. But if it's going to ruin your time that much, then it's a bit sad, isn't it? In my opinion.
It is, mate. Yeah. So, with this meaning in the band and stuff like that, mate, we've discussed it with the others, with the Love, Peace, Anarchy stuff, and obviously the freedom of ideas, Operation Flatline. It's like stepping out of your comfort zone and trying to create great, which is basically the song and stuff like that. How has that helped you in your life with difficult times, or are you? I struggle to articulate what I mean with this question, but I have asked the other lads. Is it helping you progress?
I think so, yeah, because sometimes you realise that you've got to take it on yourself to do something. That's what I get from it. And all that kind of stuff. And
taking responsibility and stuff.
Yeah, taking responsibility for stuff that you are in control of, and yeah.
It's difficult to talk about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's sensitive, because me and you that in this band, right, no, I don't think anyone else knows this, but literally what Tommy does, which is great, is Tommy keeps me on the straight and narrow. because I tend to wander off everywhere, every which way or whatever, all the time. And literally, it's like you must have a template of things set up here, because when I've done something maybe slightly off topic on the Instagram, it's the Instagram's gone up, the post has gone up, and I'm like, I've done something, I shouldn't have said that, maybe I've said something wrong here. Within a second of that, bang, Tommy's in the inbox. Tommy's in the inbox going, Satan, come on, you're better than this. Because Tommy, basically, it's a great thing, because I need that, because sometimes I go off and stuff like that, and it's like a protective thing of the group, which is a really strong trait to have.
I think it's a lot of it's about balance and finding the balance in ideas as well. Yeah. And this comes down to the studio a lot as well. Like, someone may have a really strong idea about one way that it can go, and I might have a strong idea of how I think it can go. But then the more I thought about the meaning of the band, I've realised that sometimes it's a combination of those two things. That's what I get a lot from this band. It's like, being able to just try and give up your side of it and try and understand where the other person's coming from and try and do the best of both.
Sometimes. That's it, man. I think it's like, especially there's a lot of opinions in this band, and it's great, because that means there's a lot of ideas knocking about and a lot of ways we should be doing things. But within two opposed opinions, there's always the truth is somewhere, and I think we know that, and we structure. If we're having arguments now, sometimes we act really irrational, and we're like reactive and stuff like that, and everyone gets, some people upset and stuff like that. But it only takes about 5 minutes now. We're getting really good at it to just think of, maybe not 5 minutes, but
it's just a human response, though, isn't it? Like, you can't ever say to anybody that don't be upset, because that's just how you're naturally going to feel. You know what I mean? It's like that's just how it is. That's just how we are as human beings.
Exactly, man. You sit back, you evaluate what you've said. I never take anything from anyone in this band as anyone ever trying to be nasty or trying to be horrible or trying to put me down. I don't know if you feel the same, but it's kind of like absolutely. It's all for the greater good of the band, and I think that's what's kept us and is getting us tighter and tighter by the day, really. Because we do face, like, I know our message is quite positive and stuff like that, but we do face issues daily with things slapping us in the face, and they might not seem big to other people, but like, we have to come together at times, and we have to disagree, but we also have to find the truth in these situations, man. And I think you're a great advocate of that in a way, because you will always say the truth exactly how you feel. You're very honest. Sometimes that's difficult to bear. Yeah. At the same time, it's created, I think, since, especially me and you on the side, sometimes when we do have these conversations, we've grown together, and it's helped us to get to know each other's people a lot more and develop a massive respect.
Yeah, I agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's good. What do you think of that, Ryan? It got deep. I keep watching him on the side here. He's thinking, what are these two going on about? But yeah, it's good. But do you get that, Ryan?
I don't think anyone should be talking about the feelings.
That is true.
I'm joking. No, I think the biggest turning point in my life of recent times was me letting go of things and learning to just accept certain things and let people have their say and let people have their ideas. And if there's something that I'm not 100% behind, I'll just run with it anyway, because it's really interesting. And I used to be complete opposite. Whenever we were in the studio or recording or writing music previously, it was always like a big battle. And I think I was immediately shutting ideas down or immediately saying no. And it's just like, well, hold on a minute, let's just see where this goes. It's like, should we go down this path and see where that takes us? Previously, I was like, no. Whereas now it's like, well, yeah, because guess what? You might learn something, you might find something new. So yeah, I think letting go was the biggest development for me. I think I just let it go. Do you know what I mean? It's like Frozen.
Mate, but it is though, because as much as you try to control what is out here, you're gonna fail every time.
You are gonna fail.
Man. You can't do it. You cannot do it. What you can control is yourself, though, and that is with you saying about your big learning curve, that for me is the biggest thing, because I was exactly the same as you, Ryan. Always wanted it to kind of be my way in a way. Never having the bollocks to kind of go out there and do that. But at the same time, in my head, then I go away with resentment because I'm like, why is it not like this? Why is it not like that?
Well, do you know what you should do? If you've got that frame of mind, don't be in a band.
100%, man. 100%.
Because it doesn't work. Go solo. Be a solo artist. And some people are more cut out for that because they want it all their own way. And they really can't handle it unless it is all their own way. And that's absolutely fine as well. That is absolutely fine.
You can grow in that. You can develop yourself in that aspect. Like I've always wanted people to support me. Unfortunately, I never really feel. I like the team aspect of it. I struggle on my own. I like bouncing shit off people because you get a response where it's like, oh shit. Sometimes you don't want to hear that response, but it helps you grow.
It's a meritocracy. This band, more than ever, where we all strive for the best idea. You know, it doesn't matter whose it is or what it is, or it's a meritocracy.
Yeah,
that's
Bob on there with what you're saying. Yeah,
we all get our opinions.
Yeah, it's not just one person just like leading the way.
It isn't.
Hopefully, most of the time. Maybe I do push my opinion more than most, but
yeah, it's not that, mate.
But I would never do it in like a negative, for the betterment of.
It's the same with any sort of creative team, whether it's filmmakers, whether it's script writers, whether they're graphic designers, whether it's it's all the same, and it's because there's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah, you're right there. You're right.
For certain things, there is for other things, but that's why it's so difficult.
Yeah, what's right for one person isn't right for another person. Yeah. So what is actually right? You can't tell. It's like, so you can beat yourself down with it and stuff like that. The best thing about us is our Zoom meetings. Well, it's Zoom now, isn't it? But when we're in the resi and that, because we'll get like, so there'll be an opinion and there'll be another opinion, and it must take at least an hour and a half, 2 hours of discussion going round and round the houses. Everyone's just like, the faces are melting. It's like, oh my God, I cannot believe we're still talking about this. Has anyone brought any lollipops and biscuits? No, they haven't. It's annoying. But then it's like you get round to it, and then all of a sudden, when you stop thinking about it, bang, the answer comes, and it's like, maybe that's just a natural progression of life.
I think so. That is how we come to decisions a lot of the time, isn't it? It's like, might be two strongly opposing arguments, but then it comes around to being a perfect blend of the two most of the time, for me anyway. And we just get it done in that sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. Ryan's got a different opinion.
No, don't. I think the reason why though is because we, again, the ways to get around this sort of issue is that you must agree that you have to progress and you have to make a decision and you have to make the decisions by this time, by this date. And if it isn't 100% perfect, then do you know what? If it's 80% of the way there, then that's good enough. Because you can either not do something because it isn't 100% perfect, or you can do something that's 80% perfect, and at least you've done it and you're moving on, you're doing the next thing. That's how we progress. Like we try to perfect everything. You're gonna spend a lot of effort on that, and to be honest, it doesn't really matter. You just got to keep moving, keep going.
Yeah, man.
That's what we've tried to do with this band, is just keep going. Like we've recorded and released more music than we've probably done ever. And that was always a big deal. It's like, how do we go about releasing music? How do this? How do that? We should put it out then. We'll just put it out. There you go. See what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
It feels good, man. It feels good, that.
Yeah, the people will be the judge, won't they, of that? That's the thing, isn't it?
You could be absolutely shite, but you'll never know. You'll never know unless you show it people. And then you just carry on doing it for the rest of your life, and then you're oh God, like you're 50 years old and you're shite. But I'm only joking, man. It's like, it just, so for me, it's like, it's passion. It's passion. The fact that everyone's willing to go through that kind of, it's a lot of mental not exhaustion, but there's a lot of energy being exported from the mind there when you're going round and round and round. But the fact that we're passionate enough to want to find the true answer is what it's all about for me.